Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So today we are going to talk about two platforms on social media, YouTube and Facebook. Two places that we love to post videos, but the two different platforms perform differently, and there's stuff you should consider when making content for each. The types of videos, the length of the videos, whole bunch of stuff we're going to get into. I have two special guests for you here. Emmett Dempsey in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Emmett has been in the mortgage industry since 2007. He's a veteran of the U.S. Army, and he recently opened his own broker shop in early 2020. So congrats, Emmett. Glad to have you on the broker side. Emmett started his YouTube channel back in June of 2018 with heavy influence from Gary Vee. Mm-hmm. Our next guest is Ryan Eller. I'm sure you guys recognize him from AIM Activate back in March. He was the host of our Marketing Makeover. Ryan started his video journey back in 2014, actually when he owned a gym in Chandler, Arizona. 3 years ago, Ryan took his video marketing skills to the mortgage industry, and now he's partnered in business with his brilliant wife, Jessica. Together, they make up the Eller lending team in Arizona. Welcome, guys. Let's get right into it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. So let's start off with you, Emmett.
Okay.
Your YouTube channel has almost 700 subscribers now. You get a ton of leads from the videos that you post to YouTube.
Right.
So why is it that people go on YouTube?
Well, YouTube is second largest search engine, basically be an answer to a question. People go to YouTube to learn things. I know I go on YouTube to learn things. I watch my children on YouTube who are twin 6-year-olds and a 3-year-old, and they've been on YouTube basically since they were born. So it's a huge platform. But for me, it's been a kind of like an evergreen content farm where I can go over different topics and also be able to have searchable topics. And if you can be an answer to a question, you can be found.
Right. So people are really intentionally clicking onto YouTube with a solution in mind. They're trying to figure out an answer to a problem, or they just have a general question. They're actively seeking it out.
Right. It's that intentional based search for buying questions like, some people ask for mortgage, but they're going to ask for how much home can I afford? And I learned those keywords just by doing a Google lead gen and finding out different questions people are asking. So a lot of the way that I tag and with the metadata on my videos or for what I want to talk about to figure out what's being searched for on YouTube. So you don't just want to do a video that's not what people are looking for. It's never going to get found. So you want to actively put your video in the ocean, in a rushing river, so to speak, where people are searching, and it increases your chances of success.
Yes. Awesome. So Ryan, everyone knows your videos. I'm sure people have heard the term stop the scroll. Your videos on Facebook definitely stop the scroll. They're very, very eye-catching in the very beginning. So what is it that makes people go on? Why do people go on Facebook? Who are the types of people that are stumbling upon these videos on Facebook?
I mean, if you really think about it, people go on Facebook because they're bored. They just go there to waste time and scroll, and they want entertainment. They want to catch up on news. They want to see what's going on with their friends and their family. So basically, if you don't capture their attention within about 3 seconds or less, they're just on to the next scroll.
Yep, exactly. So you got to have all the information that you want to get out to them. I notice you do this a lot. You'll say, hey guys, I'm going to talk to you about this today. Mm-hmm. And you want to do the same thing with your YouTube videos, but people's intentions are different when they're going to YouTube. Yes. Right. So you still got to hook them, because in YouTube, you still have a ton of different search results to compete with.
Right. So we use engaging backgrounds, we use props, we use video editing techniques to get them to stop scrolling. And then within that 3 to 5 seconds, we let them know what they're going to get out of that video. And mainly it's because the people that are watching it, especially when it's posted from our business page, we want to retarget those people. So we don't want someone just to watch for the entertainment alone. We want them to watch because they're interested in the topic as well. And so that's why we always tell them within that first 3 to 5 seconds, hey, here's what we're going to be, going over in today's video. And that way we're getting the right people watching our content. It's not like YouTube where they're searching for that content.
Right. Now let's dive into the content. So Emmett, how are you coming up with the ideas for these videos?
There's various tools out there, one of which is Keywords Anywhere. That's a Chrome extension. It's just asking questions you ask on a daily basis. So if you put in a query into Google and it's attached to, and you have a subscription, it'll give all the search volume. Also, there's a website, it's called Answer the Public. You can kind of put in those things. It'll tell you the what, who, what, when, where, and why, what people are searching for. So it's kind of like having a front row seat to the back end data, and just seeing if any of those terms make sense. So I like that topic. I know lately, like I need to do one on disclosures, because people like flip out over initial disclosures. They think that it's just like got to be exactly the same. Like, no, disclosures are just, yes, you apply for a loan. So it's just in your everyday job about, okay, I need to make a video on that. Like, how do I better explain that? I have a loan estimate and a CD video, but they're older, and also my old company branding, and I'm gonna have to redo those. But it's just those kind of things. And I also use YouTube for my in-process marketing. So for all my, as soon as they hit in processing, they get a loan estimate video, they get a, for appraisal, what is appraisal? What is title insurance? All those different questions that they ask you on every single loan. What is that? Why do I need title insurance? That's so expensive. It's like, here's why you need it. Here's homeowner's insurance. So all those questions you get asked, that, that's on my list of to-dos for videos.
It's almost like you're saving a ton of time yourself, because everything you would keep typing out or emailing or texting them, you just have it ready to go in a video. Yeah. You sit right there with your microphone in your house, and it's just like you're talking to every single borrower face to face.
And it's the brand of you, and it's in your voice, your face. It's almost like you're face to face talking to them, and which is huge, because because this is the television these days. More people have cell phones than running water. And there's a term that was coined in the 50s called a parasocial relationship. Basically, it's the interaction we have with people on television. Like, I think I can be friends with that character, even though they don't really exist. They have no idea you're alive. But with social media, it's a two-way gate. And it's kind of weird. I've gone to closings where they say, hey, you look just like your YouTube videos. I'm like, okay, I just recorded. But it's a real phenomenon. Like, they see you on your phone and you're like famous. And that's a huge plus for you, just by doing content. That's what content marketing does for you. Video content marketing. It's a huge plus.
Absolutely. So what are some things you would go to this keyword search? Like, if you have no idea, like you've never made your first video, like what would someone want to search for in there?
Mortgage, buying a house, refinance. You can see that some of the specific queries that they're doing. And then, there's certain, and YouTube SEO is different than normal SEO, but that's a whole different conversation. There's tools like TubeBuddy and Morning Fame that are specifically for YouTube search, because you want to target a keyword that you can get found for, not necessarily get swallowed by bigger channels, but that's, as you start doing YouTube videos, you understand how the metadata works and all that. And it's just understanding your platform, because Gary Vee has said you need to be contextual to the platform. He talks more about content, but you have to understand what YouTube algorithm wants. They want watch time and engagement. So that's why you structure your videos, hey, click here, subscribe, all the visuals, moving the eyes, keeps them engaged, because the more that they watch your videos, the more YouTube says that's a good video, and the more it shows up in suggested in search. So and you have to understand the platform and the algorithm that you're doing.
Yeah. But the main thing is like the content ideas are not difficult. It's stuff that they're already talking about in their everyday life. Yeah. All they have to do is just press the record button and say it to the camera.
Anybody who's doing loans, there's so much information that as a professional, like, give it out for free. And Gary Vee has said that it's like, the more you give it out for free, the more you can charge for it. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so true. Like, just answer everyone's questions. Like, be the answer guy. Because once they move, I get so many queries. Hey, I'm moving to your town. I saw your video. And like, there's no shopping. Hey, what's your rate? I'm going to use you because I saw you on my phone and I think you're famous. That's
Yes.
not only what they think, but that's the effect. Like,
And they also got a feel for your personality and the way you speak and who you are. Like, and that's how human beings connect to each other. We don't know why we like someone's personality versus another, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important point you just made there, Nicole, because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not good at video, I'm not charismatic, or whatever it is. I don't like the way I look on camera. But basically, they're going to be people that are going to connect with you. They're going to connect with Emmett. They're going to connect with me differently. We could have the exact same message, exact same video, and different people are going to connect.
Yes, exactly. Because not everyone in the world is exuberant and charismatic. That makes no sense. So obviously they're going to connect with a different type of person on video. Yeah. So great. Good stuff. So Ryan, how do you come up with the content? I know now people might be a little intimidated watching your videos because, like you said, they're highly produced, they're edited. Like, you are a nerd and a geek. You say all the time about technical like stuff and equipment. But just getting down to the very initial like conceptualization, like how are you coming up with what kind of video you're going to make that's going to resonate with people?
I want to address the produce thing first. Is we do the produce thing because we enjoy it. Like you said, I'm a nerd. I have fun with it. And that captures attention to get people to start watching us more often. But our best converting videos are not those produced ones. Our best converting videos are more organic ones where we're walking around the neighborhood, we're in the car, just doing our everyday life stuff and just pulling out the camera or the GoPro and just knocking out a quick little 60 second to 90 second video, giving them a hot tip. And then in terms of how we're coming up with the content is very similar to what Emmett does. Is we just go, we get a lot of these questions over and over and over. We need to address it. And then what we'll do is we'll just put a fun spin on it and try to make it fun and entertaining and educational. And then we might spin that same topic 3 or 4 different times in different ways. So maybe it gets through to one person one way, but then another person another way.
Okay, interesting. So what's one topic that you remember recently, like breaking
refi? We have a refi one where I'm doing a wheelie and I duplicate myself. So there's like 3 of me, like I'm a clone. That one's done really well. We've done one where Jessica was just in her car talking about the landscape of refinancing. We have another one we're going to do with her on the handlebars of my bike, and we're just going to be going down the street. So that's just 3 examples, and we have more that we're working on. So whatever the hot topic is, we just try to spin it as many ways as we can, so that it feels fresh when we're delivering that same message, just in a slightly different way.
Okay. Do you have sort of a time where maybe like you're getting together, like in brainstorming, like once a week or something, here's the hot topics. What can we do around these
well,
things?
We like,
or is it just kind of free flowing?
We live this business. So we work from home. The kids are home from school, for summer, and then with the COVID thing. So it literally is like all encompassing 24/7. So it's just when we're around each other, we're always coming up with ideas and we're jotting things down in notebooks. And then we'll start to schedule times as we get closer to that idea of, okay, on Tuesday at 9 a.m., we're going to shoot this video on this topic, things like that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But even like something you mentioned, location could, be changing. So, all right. So you're talking about refis. You can shoot a quick little video in your office space in your house, and then you can go out and shoot the same, message outside, walking around the neighborhood or showing people a nice park by your house.
Right.
It's the same message, but it's 2 different pieces of content.
That's my best tip, is get out of your office, because that's what everybody does, because it's the path of least resistance. So if you look like everybody else doing the same thing, it becomes boring. So get out, walk around the neighborhood, get in front of your house or someone else's house, get at the park, change the scenery, because that's going to be something different than when people are just scrolling and see, just the boring person in front of their desk, with no energy. When you're up and moving, you're going to have more energy going out to the camera.
Yes, 100%. So the main thing both you guys talked about that I want everyone to really remember is the way that they're shooting these videos, the location of them, the editing, all that can be different from person to person. But the way they're coming up with the ideas, like people always ask me, what do I say in my videos? Well, what should I do videos about? It's not hard. The way that you're coming up with the content, it's not some like mathematical equation.
Well,
You're
I have an idea
just
for the first
looking to your everyday life.
Right.
No, my number one video is not anything about mortgage. It's moving to Port St. Lucie, moving to your town.
That's right.
That if you can't think of 10 reasons why to move to your town and you're doing mortgages in your town, you got to move somewhere else if you got to really think about it.
Yes, exactly.
That video,
another one that is limitless content is tell stories about your clients, period. Like, so if you had a tough file, or if you had someone that has been working on it for 2 years, you save someone $600 a month on a refi, like just keep telling a new story about a new person every time that you have one. And it's endless. It's endless.
Yep. Yeah, because I have an anecdote. Basically, my most recent pre-approval, my most recent YouTube phone call. It's like, hey, I saw you on YouTube. Okay, great. Which video? At the Flying Panda video, where I was at Flying Panda. It was the indoor trampoline place with my kids. I had my my Smooth Mobile gimbal. Just did a video of me and my kids. Something cool around town. Like, you kind of balance it, not just all mortgage, but okay, why move to your town? Here's some cool bars, so, mixing up that content, it helps out.
It's like, it's kind of just like tapping into what you already talk about inside your own head every day. Why are you a mortgage professional in this exact town? Like, you couldn't go anywhere you want. You can live anywhere you want. Why do you do it? What do you love about it? What are some things? Do you work with a lot of borrowers that have kids and you're constantly talking about schools and parks and things like that? Yep. Do you have a lot of first-time home buyers who are constantly asking you about nightlife and how's the town for young people? Like, I don't know. What is it? Talk about that.
Right.
Talk about what you already know.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, great. The next thing I want to touch upon is a little bit more into the way that we publish these videos. So on Facebook, not so much is important with the title of the video. It doesn't really show up as much as on YouTube, where the title is very important and the thumbnail image. So Emmett, talk about why those two things are very important when you're publishing video to YouTube.
Well, your titles are all part of the SEO. So your title matches your description. So again, it has to be a searchable query, and you have your research onto the search volume. But and thumbnails too. I make them in Canva. Bright pastel colors. You can use remove.bg, which is a good website to remove yourself from the background. And I just use Canva, and you just do it on a 1920 by 1080 template. Nice colors in the background, and it's just, and I just watch what other YouTubers are doing. It's just kind of like just, borrowing for what other successful folks are doing. It's just they're off center. Instead of being front row center, you use the rule of thirds, where you're kind of off to the side, and you have the other, in big letters, what the video is about. And like TubeBuddy and Morning Fame will show you other competing videos in your genre for that keyword, and a lot of time it's just a screenshot of them, with their mouth half open. It's just they don't take the time to do thumbnails. So you just do a good thumbnail, and just and then on Canva you can reduce it to 10%, so you can see how it use on your phone, because 70% of views are on your phone. So it's got to be shrunk down. How is it going to look on a phone? So it's just, again, your audience. Always think about the audience point of view. What do they want? What do they want to see? Where are they at? They're on my phone. Okay, great. Is this clickable? Does it pop your colors? Does it pop your brand? So that's how important thumbnails are. Yeah,
and it's super easy to make. Like you say, Canva, it's free. Yeah. You can remove yourself from the background real quick. And if you don't want to put yourself in it, fine. You can put some other imagery, or
you can just do the title of your video. Yeah, I mean, just experiment. You can A/B test thumbnails. But I guess studies have shown that faces, looking at the camera, will get clicked on more. So that's why a lot of your top YouTubers do that. So I can just install it and put that on the thumbnail.
One of my favorite books is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. Love that, like you say, you go to your favorite YouTubers and you see what's working for them, and you make it work for yourself. Like, no one's reinventing the wheel here. We're not, doing something so astronomically new. We're just duplicating what does work and making it work for ourselves.
Yeah.
And
So
then with
yeah, go ahead.
Facebook, what I found is I've tested a bunch of stuff, and for me, posting is as soon as I wake up, like earlier the better. I get way more views, likes, comments throughout the day.
Okay.
Like people are like, oh, do it 9 o'clock, do it 12 o'clock, do it 6 o'clock. I hands down, I've tested it over and over and over. And for me, the longer that post is up for the day, it hits the early people, it hits the afternoon people, it hits the night people, it hits the late night people, and it gets the most juice and usually runs to the next day. If I post past 6 o'clock, it's almost a waste of a post.
Yeah.
For me, I've had things I thought were going to crush it and then don't because I posted it too late. So now I usually reserve a good post. If I don't wake up in time or forget about it, I wait till the next day. And then you have that first line of text that you kind of want to have something intriguing or
in the post copy above the video.
Above the video, yeah. So you want to utilize whatever your first sentence or two sentences are that's going to like hook people in to the video, because they might read that first and then they scroll a little bit more and then the video starts. So, don't waste that first, 2 sentences or that first paragraph just mindlessly rambling or something like that. Like get to the point or make something clickable, where people want to click that video below if it doesn't autoplay.
Mm-hmm. Right. And yeah, right. Give them that information, like almost like too basic. Like this video is about refis. Do you want to refi? Should you refi?
Or
like
one that I usually do is do not refi.
Okay, there you go.
One of my favorite ones to do. Yeah. And then below it says, before you even think about refiing, these are things you need to know.
Perfect.
Because a lot of people get the stuff in the mail, the junk in the mail. That's another one. I save all those junk mails that are totally non-compliant, and then I will break those down for the consumer so that they know like what to look for. Another
content idea that's free and comes right to your mailbox.
Yep.
Love it. So the aspect ratio, the size, the shape of the videos. Mm-hmm. We know YouTube likes the horizontal box, which is what we're looking at right now. Mm-hmm. For Facebook, it's you can post anything, but what's the best aspect ratio or shape to post on Facebook?
So I'll usually do a square because I don't like to shoot vertically. I'm so trained in, the normal shooting mode that I just don't shoot much vertically. So then I'll put that in a wrapper where it has like some bright backgrounds in the back and maybe like a title at the top. And then
tell people what's a wrapper. What's a wrapper?
So kind of like what people are watching here, where our video is within a background. It's the same concept where you just take a 1x1 square, slap the 16:9 video, so then you have room on the top and the bottom, and then I'll put something, image or text at the top, and then at the bottom I'll usually put the baked in subtitles in there.
Perfect. And sometimes people even have the progress bar going across.
Yeah, you can do all that. And sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It just really depends on, what I'm going for, how fast I want to get it out. And we've talked about this. I think your content is more important than like the wrapper and all that stuff. Can that add a little bit of juice to people stopping? Sure. Yeah. But it could also detract from other people as well that don't want all that flashy stuff. So I think you just have to test, just like you test thumbnails and stuff on YouTube. You just have to test what your audience likes on Facebook.
Now, this would be a good way for someone to take a video that they've produced for YouTube. So it's going to be wide, horizontal shape like this. And then with minimal editing, they can use this wrapper program for free online. They can just take that video and put it inside of the 1x1 square. And now it's ready to post on Facebook when you didn't change anything, about it.
Yeah, I think one was Subtitle is one that I have that can be put in a wrapper. There's a bunch of them you can get, or you can just go into any of your editor and you just change the aspect ratio of your video to like 1080 by 1080, and it'll just drop it in. It'll just drop your photo in, and then you can just take an image that you get from Facebook or from Photoshop or Canva or whatever you design, and just drop that layer underneath the video layer, and it will be in the background. Yes.
Oh, now we're getting complicated, but yeah, those are free. Those are free. Phone editing apps too. Sorry, I lost what I was going to say.
You don't want me to nerd out about video editing?
Oh, I can too, man.
It's too complicated. Yeah. It's too complicated. But no, what I was going to say is the reason that I just want people to understand this too. The reason that the square does better on Facebook is because, like Emmett said, most people are watching on mobile. So the square is going to take up more of their screen than the skinny, narrow video. But Emmett, what do you find with YouTube? Do you think a lot of people just like turn the phone horizontally to watch it in widescreen?
They do. I think that's how they're trained. And a cool stat, YouTube videos on connected TV screens are up 40%. I know my kids watch it on TV all the time. It's the second most preferred platform for watching video for 18 to 34-year-olds behind television. After Netflix.
Yeah, after Netflix. Yeah. Oh, I believe it. Because it's on demand.
Yeah.
It's what they want right away.
Right. That's just, that's what YouTube was designed for, was a 16:9 as a television replacement. And that's, again, being contextual to the medium. That's what that means for.
Have you ever tested a vertical video?
I have mainly for my lead generation responses. And I did it as like a private video and texted it to myself. And sure enough, it pops up full screen on your phone. So, yeah. So
I've accidentally, or not accidentally, but just being lazy, I've uploaded a square video before into YouTube, and it does change the shape of the player.
It does.
Pretty cool, responsive there on YouTube.
And my thoughts on that is, since nobody's doing that, maybe there's, room there that you might get more attention if someone just clicks but doesn't know if they want to stick with it, and then. All of a sudden the screen changes size as they're holding it like this. Because usually, if you're on your phone and you're looking through YouTube, you're scrolling, you click on one, you start watching it vertically.
Yeah.
And if it just all of a sudden pops, it kind of like, when I've seen ones like that, I kind of stick and I watch a little bit longer when they're like that. Yeah. So maybe for shorter videos, that would be a fun test. I'm going to have to test that because I got to do YouTube now.
On vertical, you do get that. It fills the screen, but you also lose a lot of your sides, which is a lot of. It's very narrow when you really, if you do a lot of vertical video, you don't have a lot of space there. And even when you're doing arm movements, it's like it cuts off. So it is something to think about, something to experiment with. Sure.
Depends what you're trying to show. If you're going out showing Port St. Lucie to people, you probably don't want to have it vertical because that's such a narrow view for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all depends.
I'll try it out. Why not?
All right. Well, we got a couple more minutes here, guys. So I want to get final thoughts from you. But just a reminder here, you can always subscribe to AIM National on our YouTube page. And I want to remind everyone to join us live tomorrow for the weekly sales meeting right here on AIM's Facebook page, live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. That'll be with Anthony Casa. So make sure you join us for that. So now, all right, guys, final thoughts, advice you'd give to people who are just looking to start video and they don't know even where to start. Should I post it on Facebook? Should I post it on YouTube, Instagram? What should I do? Overall, just advice to people that are confused.
Just do it.
Exactly. Just start. Just pick a platform and master it before you try to learn everything. And for me, I just decided on YouTube, and I just wanted to learn YouTube. And then try something else.
Learn to laugh at yourself. You're going to post stuff and you're going to hate it, but instead of hating it, just kind of laugh and be like, hey, well, that was kind of funny. I was dorky there. I made a weird noise. I scratched my nose. Who cares? People are going to forget that video faster than they forgot what they had for breakfast. So just get stuff out there. You'll get better at it over time. And you're still going to have some flops, but you're going to have some wins. So unless you play, there's no chance to win.
Exactly. The worst case scenario that happens is your video comes out terrible. No one views it. It gets zero engagement and you move on with your life. That's the worst thing that happens. So why not just go for it and try to put stuff out there and see what resonates with you. See, you guys both have picked your niche topic that, you both are so excited talking about it and you're good at it and people recognize you for being good at it because it's second nature for you because you're passionate and you actually enjoy it. You're not trying to fake it.
Yep. So, there was one that I thought was going to be really funny. So I had a shirt on and there was like a little hole, like right where the sleeve is. So I'm like, I'm going to go on and I'm just going to rip this sleeve off and just do something dumb. Right. And literally I like pull as hard as I can and nothing happened. I was like, huh, huh, like I look like a complete goof and people loved it, you know? And so I was like, should I post that? And I'm like, who cares? Like, I really don't care if people think I'm a goof or whatever. And once I started doing things like that and just like showing the good with the bad, I get way more viewership because of it.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. Just be exactly who you are. I mean, we can see right here, if people have been watching this for the last 30 minutes, all three of us, but especially both Emmett and Ryan, have very different personalities. They are not the same at all. Emmett's a little more reserved and quiet and just, straight to camera. I'm going to give you this information. And Ryan's a little more outlandish with stuff like ripping the shirt off and stuff. And look, they're both getting extremely high engagement on their videos. So that should tell you right there that any type of personality that you have, you can find your way of putting out content that's going to resonate with people. So just hit the record button and do it.
Yeah, as Jessica says, do you, boo? Do you?
Do you, boo? Love it. Love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be online in the comments after to answer anyone's questions that we didn't get to. So have a great day, guys.